Head now.
That's what he's there for.
I got you.
Yeah,
Earworm.
that's his specialty.
I am good at that. How's everybody doing?
Oh, very good.
Good show so far?
Yeah, actually, this is my favorite moment right now because we were just talking about how much into the comic we are. So prepare
thanks.
for some references.
Let's do it.
Okay, great.
We love you.
So there's obviously some great cliques in the series: the Jersey Kings, Dixie Mobs, Preps, to name a few, with each with their own personality. Is there a particular clique that you guys most relate to, or like writing for, or being involved with the most? And can you tell us a little bit about each clique?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
For me, I'm like half Billy, half Marcus. So those characters, at the onset got a lot of, my
crazy Canadian gang, unfortunately.
The crazy Canucks.
Yeah, with all plaid shirts. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, what clique? It's
no, I don't know.
You were a greaser. You were a rockabilly kid.
Yeah, I was a rockabilly kid.
You're Quan.
So, yeah. Quan is a character that comes in later on that you guys might know, like further in the series, and that guy was definitely like. I helped make that guy because he wore all the clothes that I wore when I was a teenager growing up. So yeah, he's probably pretty close. I always thought like Latino culture, like bandanas, plaids, that whole deal when I was a kid was like the coolest thing.
It still
I'd ever
is.
seen.
It's
classic. It never really goes.
It never goes
style,
away.
So, yeah,
and now everybody does the top button like the old. And that was also a skate punk thing.
Like
that there was sort of like the suicidal style mixed with the
totally.
Latino.
Chuck Taylors
Love
and
it.
the plaid and everything. It's great.
It's eternal.
Yeah, the suicidal tendencies. That whole thing is just always badass. Yeah.
I'm all about that top button, by the way.
Yeah, man.
It's a good look.
Yeah.
That's great.
So we have for new audiences, what's the hook? What's the thing that will stand out and grab the audience?
I mean, I think it's a soup in that there are a number of things. For me personally, it's doing a Mad Men style snapshot for Generation X's Underground and the youth culture and the music that informed me and that I grew up with and that mattered to me and that has been culturally marginalized to the point of almost being disappeared. And so being able to take a look at what the 80s were actually like for a lot of us, as opposed to maybe something that seems a little more polished and false. That's the thing that gets me the most excited about it, as well as taking just a good hard look at teenage life and trying to capture the authenticity of what those emotions are and to not polish them up. One of the hardest things in writing the book is I take a lot of my old journals and I'll translate them into Marcus's journals, and I want so much for the adult writer to clean it up and to not make it as uncomfortable, but I don't let myself. And I think that we've had a lot of people come up to us over the years that are late teens who identify with it, and I think it's because of that honesty that we ensure to continue to put in.
I think it was the first teaser where you talked about how true of an adaptation this really is, but at the same time when you're going to TV, what do you decide to kind of change a little bit for TV or make it fresh for people that are familiar with it?
Well, I wouldn't say it's about making it fresh. I think it's about more the realities of hiring someone like Benedict Wong for Master Lin. Now, when we conceived Master Lin in the book, the idea is that he's sort of an enigmatic mystery figure off in the distance, and that you see him almost never. And and when you do see him, it's like dun dun dun, and then you cast someone like Benedict Wong, who could literally read the phone book, and you'd be very glad to listen to it. Right. And you want to unpack that character while still maintaining the enigmatic mystery. And so the challenge has been in the writer's room is I keep directing everybody to let's figure out the story, and then let's gut parts of Lin's story so that we never understand exactly what's going on for a few seasons. And to do that in a satisfying way, it's almost Lynchian, like what's going on in the Black Lodge. I don't know, but I love it. I don't know, but I want to live in the Black Lodge. I don't want to live in the Black Lodge.
No, it's bad. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen, or when you are. But so that is the real challenges come in unpacking aspects. There's all these we built a huge cast in the book. And the amount of real estate and time we have to unpack each one of those characters in the book is limited because you have a core cast and then you've got your supporting. With the TV show, we've got an hour-long episode, so we're taking the chunks of the book and practicing what Joe Russo likes to refer to as muscular restraint, so that it's not ADD theater. We're not trying to like rocket through story.
Right.
We're taking a breath. And one of the biggest influences for us in the book is Richard Linklater's Slackers. And to just sit with characters and just hear their ideology and just live with them. And so the joy is being able to open it up and do that with all the characters. To do that with Lex, to do that with Petra, to do that with Brandy, to just get into all of those characters as well as the core cast. I think for me that's the part that has been the most fun. I was saying earlier, sort of the untold tales of Deadly Class, you know?
And that's what I was hoping for right there.
Yeah.
That kind of serves both interests. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You can kind of give the comic book fans just a wider, more to think about without necessarily changing stuff that they love in the comic. And yeah, that seems like a great approach. Good job, Rick.
So the school was the school laid out before the TV series was created, or was that something you had to help with the layout and how it looks and flows?
Well, in doing the show, I realized that I had I wrote something for Wes once, which was a bat cave with a school in it. And then at some point, I think it was Joe Russo who said, "Well, why isn't it just an underground labyrinth with school?" And I was like, that would make a lot more sense. Because
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one thing. Like after a certain amount of issues, I was like, this
doesn't make any sense.
Much sense.
Why
actually. Wouldn't it all be crumbling on? Whatever. It makes some things make sense in a comic book, and really in the real world, you're just like, I don't know if we can really pull that off. So some things, the craziest ideas maybe have to be pulled back. But actually, that's not true. That one thing.
I think, but it kind of logicked better. So instead of just a giant cavern with a school in it, the school itself is a maze. It's a labyrinth underneath San Francisco. And so in terms of unpacking that's given me ideas that, I think I think that's, I don't want to say better, but it has more story engine potential. And it's something that I'm definitely going to bleed into the book as we move forward. And because once I got into it, I have an instinct to take us out of the book. And I think that, Wes will say, well, we've been out of the school for a while.
We're just constantly playing hooky.
We're constantly playing hooky because all of our stories that excite us, all the youthful stuff, we talk about, not a lot of it happened in school. So, but the labyrinth gives you a little bit more to play with in the school, I think.
Definitely.
Yep.
Guys, we're actually wrapped now. Thank you so much.